Yeah, this process that I've been working with Greg and Tracy for well over 6 months now has been a journey that I'm really pleased that I've been through. A process of learning really who I am at my core, what my heart has been trying to tell me for a very, very long time. And I really haven't been able to hear that, I think, for quite a period of my life. You know, there's been a lot of things that get drowned out amongst work and family and a lot of the commitments and things like that, that the daily pressures, I guess, that we're sort of living with in our very busy lives. So yeah, being able to reconnect with myself and just slow right down has been probably one of the greatest feelings and one of the greatest things that I think I've ever achieved. So thank you to Greg, thank you to Tracy for all your help. And certainly I'm very pleased that, yeah, I don't feel like this is the end of any journey whatsoever. There are many things that we're about to start. And I'm really excited to see where that all sort of leads. So yeah, thanks guys.
So when you came into the program to work with us, what were you kind of looking for? What were you expecting? Or what were you looking for?
Good question. I think I was really looking to see if I really could reconnect with myself. It's probably something that I've struggled to be able to do in the past. And this has been probably the biggest thing that's come out of the last 6 months, has been really being able to understand what my inner being is speaking to me, and really reconnecting with myself has been, yeah, probably the biggest thing that's come out of all of this.
And what changes have you experienced from this kind of reconnection and yeah, reconnection with yourself? What changes have you experienced?
Yeah, it's changed my outlook on life, to be honest with you, because being able to reconnect with myself has really helped me to rethink the way that I value things externally. So whether we're talking things relating to business or family or friends, or even or the daily pressures that come from those things, my outlook on things has changed quite a bit. You know, I feel like I've slowed everything down, and I feel more present in everything that I'm doing now. So I think that's a positive, not just for myself, but for everyone that I'm actually dealing with, being able to be more present in the moment, in conversations and all of life's experiences, you know, with my kids, with my wife, with colleagues, with clients. You know, it extends to all aspects of my life. So yeah, that's been great.
And how's your business benefited from you slowing down, being more present and not working as many hours?
The business is actually the strongest that it's ever been. The business is running very efficiently. We have recruited very well over the past sort of 12, 18 months. And I've been able to, throughout this process, really understand where my true values are for the business. So really focusing on doing the things that provide the most value to the business has really freed me up from doing many things where, you know, they take a lot of your time up, but you're not necessarily adding a lot of value to the business, to the process, to what the client's needs are. So that's probably been a very useful thing. But that principle I've been able to apply to all of our staff. You know, what do the staff enjoy doing and where do they add the most value to the business, has really enabled us to have a business now that runs not just efficiently, but I think we're achieving really good outcomes, not just internally, but from a client expectation side of things, I think, yeah, that's been a very good experience.
Yeah, beautiful. How do you think your leadership has developed and changed?
Uh,
And the way you run and lead your business?
yeah, I think that's been quite remarkable, because I feel like I'm still setting the vision for the business, but I've really given, especially the senior people in our staff, the freedom to really run their departments and run what they do. So I've really sort of taken a step back to a degree. You know, we spoke about where we add our most value, but also in terms of where do we spend our time on leadership, and when is it required and when is it not required, and by whom is it required at those times. So by me sort of stepping away to a degree and letting the people in the business know what my key roles are now within the business, and obviously letting them know where my values are for the business, it's really given the staff an opportunity to step up for themselves and
Yep.
say, well, you know, although I think before I started this process, I probably was thinking what most business owners do, which is stepping away from your business is not a good thing. But yeah,
Why?
when I say stepping away, I mean spending a little less time, but spending more quality time with the
Yeah.
business. So truly understanding what your core assets are for the business and where your values are for the business, and then focusing on those things.
Totally. So now that you're a lot more self-connected and you've kind of freed yourself up from working in the business and you're literally just being the leader and the visionary and working on it, how's this transformed your personal life and your home life and your marriage?
It's enabled me to be more present. You know, we've sort of spoken about this, but truly being able to spend quality time with my wife, with my children as well. You know, it's been the best thing that's come out of all of this. You know, I feel like I've been so busy that 10 years in the business has flown away in 12 months.
Yeah.
You know, and unfortunately, I feel like I probably missed a lot of memories that I think, yeah, probably, or you know, probably should have been acquired through that period. But I feel like I've almost been in autopilot in some regards, where yeah, we're so flat out, we're working such long days. As a business owner, I don't know what day of the week it is half the time. A Sunday, Wednesday, it makes no difference to me. You know, the staff would remind me of public holidays coming up. What are public holidays again? Yeah, so definitely enabling me to have a bit more time, and the time that I do have to be more present in that time. That's been the absolute number one thing that's come out of this process. You know,
Beautiful.
and I recommend that to anyone thinking that they don't have enough time in their lives. Trust me, we all have enough time. We just don't know how to process it well enough. So yeah, that's probably been a huge thing for me.
Beautiful. And how did you find the spiritual and the energy work that you did with Tracy inside the program?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I've been openly forthcoming with the information that, you know, I believe in higher spirits. I believe there's a God. You know, I think there's just far too many things that exist in this environment we're in for it to all just be a coincidence. So, so the spiritual side of things was something that I was very open to, and I certainly learnt quite a few things, I think, through that process with Tracy. Understanding a little bit more about karma, about energies, how we give off our energy to to our environment and people within it, and how that energy sort of reverberates throughout the world, and I think how it sort of comes back to us as well, you know.
Totally.
I think ultimately the better energy and more love and joy and happiness and goodwill that I think that we put out into the world, I think the more of that reverberates back to us. So
Yeah, we have to have it for ourselves first, though, right?
yeah, absolutely. So rediscovering, you know, what these sorts of feelings and thoughts and emotions were inside of me, and reconnecting with that has been a very positive change in my life. You know, for what it's worth, I feel much more at peace with things more often of the time. I mean, it's not a perfect world. You're not we're not sitting here like monks or anything like that. But I think if you sort of look at the way you deal with high pressure situations now, I'm certainly able to deal with them with a lot more focus, a lot more intent, and when things do sort of get to me or get me down, it's a much more short-lived experience, because I'm quickly able to sort of say, well, okay, that moment in time is gone. We can or can't do anything about it. So now it's time to just move on. And, you know, the way I sort of speak to myself now is, you know, if things aren't serving me, I just let them go. And I'm able to do that consciously, with intent, and just move on. So that's a good thing that I think would be beneficial for everyone that's thinking about, you know, maybe taking the step to jump on board a program like this. I'd highly recommend it.
So on that note, what would you say to other successful married businessmen that are watching this video who are considering working with Tracy and I? What would you say to them?
Chances are many of the thoughts and feelings that you've been living with for quite some time, chances are that they're not just your own thoughts and emotions. I think many of the things that business people are dealing with are not isolated to just yourself. So there's probably a lot of similarities. A lot of the things that you're probably thinking you're dealing with that maybe you haven't been able to process too well in the past, and maybe you just haven't had the right opportunity to share that information, and whether it's with a spouse or a partner or friends and family, I feel like there are limitations to what sort of discussions you can have openly with that network of people. And often some of the feedback and responses that you get aren't really that beneficial to you. So yeah, I think this program has been really good for me in that regard.
Totally. And now that you've got your business running extremely efficiently and you've reduced your hours, and you're pretty much working on it, not in it, and your home life is better than it's ever been, and your marriage is strong, and your self-connection and so forth, what's next? What's next for Nindy? You've freed up your time, you're in a great financial position, you've got an amazing family and loving relationships.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, I guess we've sort of spoken on this, but we're on a mission to see how we can spread more sort of love, joy, and happiness across the world. So for myself personally, I think we're going to be looking to see if we can help underprivileged children in getting more involved in community sports is what we're going to be looking to do. And it's a process that I have already started, and I'm really excited to sort of see what this year, what we can achieve. I guess it's a step that I think is going to lead on to something that'll be far greater than what I'm sort of starting off right now. But we've got to start somewhere. So that's probably the first step moving forward.
Beautiful. I love it. Paying it forward, right?
Paying it forward, you know, it's I can't think of a better term to use.
Magic. Appreciate you sharing all that with me, Nindy, and I'm excited to see what impact you actually do make with that part of the next step of your journey.
Yeah. Thank you again, Greg. It's been an awesome journey, mate, and I definitely don't think it's over. It's just the chapter in the book of Nindy. So we're about to start the next one.
Totally, 100%. Cheers, mate.